Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the HollingsWorthless podcast. This will be for Wednesday, November 11th, coming out Friday, the 13th, November 13th. As always, we have... Well, actually, I'm going to save... oh, Jesus, I almost kicked this whole fucking thing over. Jesus Christ. Good
Is everybody
start.
even recording? Jesus.
Oh, yeah, it's recording. As always, we have the Mechanable, Sean McCann.
Heyo.
We have the
Everything's set
Coco
up. I didn't know I was going
co-host. What? Sean?
I didn't know I was going first.
Great. You're interrupting my intros. I have the Coco co-host, Mighty Morphin Manny Martin.
Right here.
And we have the mascot, aka the philanthropist, aka T-Town Philly, aka Jonah Phil, aka
Phil, Nye, the podcast guy. Yeah, what's up?
Phil is also, while he's doing this podcast, he's also going to tell us the demands that the terrorists want for kidnapping him, as he looks like he's in a fucking... What did you say, Manny, at the beginning?
It looked like he was coming to us from a prison cell. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
I literally have 1 hour left before I am beheaded.
By beheaded, this guy comes up behind him. What's up, this is Leroy.
What?
Oh, Phyllis. Lots of stuff to go over. First of all, Phil, what day are you at right now, sober? 63?
62 or 3, yeah.
You don't know? Jesus.
I can't recall.
Glad it means
Something like
so
that.
much.
62 or 63, yeah. I think 62.
Great.
Let's go with that.
Well, I guess we'll just skip over that. I thought it was going to be something, kind of special.
Where are you? Where are you though? For real, where are you? Why is
I
it all
am
white back
in
there?
the currently empty extra bedroom in our house, in our Oxford house.
Nice.
Isn't there any wall that had something on it or something behind you you could have sat in front of?
I could put one of the mattresses up that are in the room behind me.
Oh, that'll look much better. You look like you're at a crack house.
I did just see an electrical outlet, so there's that. It's
Probably wouldn't take much for this house to turn into that if you gave the wrong person the right stuff.
What are you doing, Phil? Are you reading something?
Playing with his dick.
Yeah.
What are
Just
you
making
doing?
sure, the twigs and berries are all good.
Oh, Jesus
Ripe
Christ.
for the season. 'Tis the
So-
season to be jolly.
So you guys, I don't know if you guys know it, but Phil was, or maybe he mentioned it on the last one, but so Phil is the president of the Oxford House,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Right, Phil?
Yeah. It did not. I didn't anticipate that happening the first week I got here. The guy that was president wanted to start handling the money in the house, and so he was like, "You can't have two positions at the same time." So he's like, "I have to relinquish my position as president." So he goes, all in favor, and everybody's like, "Yeah, okay, And so he was no longer the president. He goes, "Okay, now I'm taking over treasurer. All in favor, aye." And he goes, "And Phil, you're going to be president. All in favor?" And everybody's like, "Aye." And I'm like, "You guys just fuck me? Like, what happened? I don't know what my responsibilities are now. Like, what's going on?" But I'm going to make this house great again. So.
Jesus.
Again, this
Christ.
happened last week, dude. Did you do all of that just to get to that last bit?
No, I'm just quick with it. I got him at the ready. It's like locked and loaded. You know what I'm saying? Pow, pow, pow.
God. Sean, turn yours up a little bit, your mic, make it a little hotter. And Phil, so you said you were asking at the time that you got nominated, you're like, did you guys just fuck me? Well, why don't you tell us about some of your experience so far as the president of the Oxford House?
Having a car and a driver's license isn't quite it's one of the many luxuries a lot of the people in this kind of housing don't have. So
Look at Sean.
Oh, yeah.
I
Okay,
have
now I get it.
yeah, I have
Now,
a car.
that's why
I have
you're
a car and a
president.
driver's license, and
Right.
so just like the other day, somebody was like, "Hey, we got to go pay rent for the house," and one of the responsibilities of the president is he's got to learn how to do all this kind of stuff. So yeah, you need to take me down to the bank And then as soon as we are getting in the car, another dude pops out of the house and is like, "Oh, hey, here's some money. I need a couple things from the grocery store." And then it was like, "Oh yeah, and I need to stop by the dollar store." And
They
I'm
started
like,
coming out of the
"Fuck,
bushes like crackheads because they are.
And then I was like, "Shit, dude, I got to do this podcast." And I'm like, "Oh, this is my responsibility." Like,
Wait,
what
hold
the
on.
fuck, dude?
That's how you react to doing the podcast?
No, that was because I had to do the chores for everybody.
Shit,
would
I got to do
never
this
say that.
podcast.
Why
I
don't
would
you
never
say no?
say
I'm
that about
president,
the Hollings.
dude. Wield your power, bro.
Yeah.
I know. I
You don't
I
have to do any
really
of that
should.
shit.
Just need to stomp out some individuals, you know.
Well, I don't know if you have to kill anybody. I'm just saying to say no.
So
That's hard. It's hard for addicts to say no. You know, it's part of codependency. You know, you want to make sure everybody else is okay before you feel okay. You know, you don't want any chaos. So it is. It's actually really hard for addicts to say no, to helping people out.
Did the guy that was the former president, did he have a car too?
Yeah.
Oh man. So he definitely fucked you. He was like, I got a way out. I don't have to drive these fucks around anymore.
Yeah.
He does less.
Okay. Since this guy is in charge of the money now, because that's what he wanted to do, right? He wanted to be in charge of the money. Does anybody keep tabs on him to make sure that the money is still, you know, since you're the president, I don't want anything coming back on you. So.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I mean.
Wait, you what? Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
No.
Go ahead, Sean. Handle this.
Yeah. What do you mean you feel me? Hey, yeah, I feel you. Oh, dude, yeah, I feel you. Who are you?
Who said that? Manny said that, right?
You said it.
Man, you just said it. Nobody felt anybody until you brought it up.
I understand what you're saying, sir. That's what I feel you means. Get with the times.
I know you shouldn't say. I say it. You shouldn't say it.
I feel you. But yeah, anyway, no, it's everybody keeps each other accountable. So once a week we have a house meeting, you know, and that's when the secretary of the house goes over everything that we you know, talk about. There's ledgers. I mean, everybody has access to everything to make sure that everybody's you know, keeping their nose clean.
Okay, hold on. I got this. Hold on a sec. I got a question. So I'm starting. We're all just taking this in like there's a treasurer, but that means there is money. What's the money? Where does the money come from? Do you guys all put money in something?
We gotta pay rent.
Oh God, you were frozen for a second.
Okay,
you were frozen, Phil. You were frozen, and your face was like this.
All right.
No, yeah. We all have to pay money. Yeah, it's $500 a month for rent, and that covers everything. So that's your rent, electric, cable, internet. It covers like toilet paper and dish soap. You know, it's everything. And so the treasurer gets all of the the treasurer gets all that money, and then, you know, from that money that he is holding on to, he pays all of the bills.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. All right, that sounds like it's on the up and up.
Last question I have. So do you have to take like a drug test monthly or weekly or anything like that to stay in the house?
Sure. So once a week, we do a random draw of everybody in the house, and that person has to do a P test. And then not only that, but if anybody is suspicious of you, they can call you out and demand that you take a P test right there. And then if you pee dirty, you have 15 minutes to grab whatever you can of yours and get the fuck out of the house.
Wow. It's that real. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So as the president, Phil, you see somebody do something, you snitch.
You know, I take it to the Supreme Court.
Do you guys have one?
Well, actually, funny enough, our house is actually called Supreme. That's the name of our Oxford house, is Supreme. So yeah.
So would you snitch?
That's actually one of the questions to answer the question. That's one of the questions that they ask you when you interview to be accepted in the house, because everything's done by a vote. So to get into the house, you interview and you're on speakerphone with everybody. Everybody goes around and asks a question, and then they vote on you. And if you get, you know, a majority vote, then you are accepted into the house. And that's one of the questions is, If your roommate comes home and you guys are friends and, they have a lot to lose or whatever, and they come home and they look like they're high or been drinking, what do you do about that in that situation? Do you call them out, or, do you try to keep it under wraps? And, that the right answer to that question is, yeah, you have to call them out and demand that they take a pee test.
But I mean, you
and
just say that. I mean, that's the right answer, but
right. I mean, that's I think what constitutes. No, I think that's what constitutes a better house over another house. I mean, there's probably situations where that does happen and it gets swept under the rug. But I mean, if you're gonna have a house that's actually, trying to actively be in recovery, then you guys have to keep each other accountable like that. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Totally.
Yeah, it's not snitching. It's not snitching. It's just playing by the rule. Like, that's what you're all there for. That's what it's founded on.
Exactly.
Keeps it clean. Yeah.
And part of or speaking of like houses and new things and new experiences, Sean has a new experience going on right now in his house.
Oh yeah, I do.
What? What's
so
going on?
I got a. She's sleeping right now, but I got
Finally.
a new. Yeah, Jesus, I got a new kitten.
Still.
And because Calvin, my cat, was 14 like in June last year, died, and so now I got a new
Look
cat.
at Manny. Manny's like this. I was waiting. Manny was about to be like, he was going to say, "Can we have a moment of silence?"
And like for like real cat love, man, when you lose a cat, that shit like hits you at your core. I mean, yeah, it's something that like this cat, when you come home every day, first thing to greet you, show you love, and then when you lose that, you're just like, whoo,
Dude.
So Manny has two cats, and last time I was staying there, we thought the cat got out, and I thought it was my fault. Oh my God, dude! I was like, oh my God, I just lost Manny's cat.
Yeah, it was hiding under the couch because it was afraid of Jay. But
makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. My cat would do.
Do you still have the cat?
Yeah, I still have both of them. But I mean, right?
No, I mean Sean.
Oh.
Yeah, I still got the cat. Yeah, the one that
Do
died.
you? Yeah. Did you burn it?
Yeah, I burned it.
Oh, that's cool. So it's in a little urn.
No, it's in a cardboard box sitting on the mantle, man. It's not in an urn. It's a cat.
Jesus.
Are you trying to eat me right now? 'Cause I'll. It's funny. I was watching your face as you're doing this. He's like, "Oh, hey, Sean. Did you burn it? Did you burn it, Sean? Yeah, I fucking.
I just want to know if it was
shit.
cremated. Yeah, you gotta burn it to cremate it.
It was a cream. Yeah, you did.
That's such a horrible joke.
Dude, I had to, at the vet, I had to hold on to her when they injected her and as she went, man. Yeah, make a joke about that.
Fuck.
Yeah, okay, so let me just tell you my story. When we had to put down my last one, they were getting ready to put her down and they were getting ready to inject her, and I couldn't keep it together, and I was just bawling. I'm just like, can we please be the and the guy that he was like to Crystal, he was like, I can't understand what your husband's saying, and she was, oh, we just want to be her last sight, and I was like,
What she said.
Oh shit.
It was rough, man. And then they hand you're like, in a box, and I'm just like devastated, and I stole their tissues because I was like, fuck these people.
Oh, dude, yeah, man, it's a rough one. Yeah.
Well, do you want to talk about? Oh, go ahead.
I feel like it's better. I feel like it's at least better to see the cat or animal live out its life and then have to put it down than something happened to it earlier on and have to put it down. That's what happened to our family dog. It got hit by a car and it lost like a lot of its motor functions in its paws. And so
what the fuck? Look at Phil's face.
And so for like 2 weeks, it was
funny though. Come on.
For 2 weeks, it was sitting in the house and it was trying as hard as it can to walk again. And it was just like pushing on its paw, like inverted, trying to stand up. And it was like, oh man, he wants to live so bad, but he couldn't stand up and he was just shitting himself. And so we had to put him down.
That's funny.
That was bad.
No, that's funny, bro. But we're kind of being serious about the cats here. So
sounds like that was rough.
You guys are such assholes.
Sean liked it. Sean finally approves of one.
Jay, you're
Yes.
barking up the wrong tree.
So I got a new.
I didn't mean to
kitten.
dog you.
Shut up, Sean.
Oh.
He gets it. Yeah, he gets it. He got what was going on.
All right, your
So,
dead cat and your new one.
Yeah, so I got a new cat. It's driving me crazy. Like, I like it, but dude, like I was in a different place when I got Calvin. I was in a whole different headspace and doing different things. Now I got this cat, and I'm trying to like go out on, overland trips and go do things. And
Are you
I got
training it
this
on a leash?
cat? Nah, see, people would talk about that. I think and I would too, but the reality is, man, cats, and I'll just make this quick because nobody gives a shit about this is listening, but cats are territorial. They don't, they're not good in cars, dude. When I go out, I undo the bar on the Jeep, so it's like swinging all sideways when I go over shit, and it'll just batter around. So, I got to figure out
We
what
tried.
to do.
When I had a cat with my ex, we tried to train it on the leash, but it would get about 5 steps and then just flop over and it wouldn't want to do shit. And I was like, I don't understand how people say they can train cats on leashes. We tried as hard as we could. We started her off young too, and it didn't happen.
You
They
should
say
have
that's the key.
take it and then just fucking.
Okay, let me ask
Helicopter the cat.
Yeah.
you this. Sean, you thinking about a companion for the kitten?
Like, and get another
Zoom
cat?
call.
Nah, what did he just say Zoom call for?
Because he's fucking spinning it in the air like people can fucking hear him and understand what he's doing.
So
It's only for people watching video that get the joke.
I
This
said
is
that
the-
I went like that. I said you should take him go like that, and then he goes helicopter. I'm like, yeah, that's what it was. And
For the
so
people
he's like-
listening.
So,
Ugh. Worthless.
no, I'm not. Where I got this kitten, there's 2 more, or I think 1 more, and they asked me, and I can't. I can barely handle this one, man. If I got 2,
Did they-
they'd hang up on me.
like I'm going to be getting this puppy, and the lady gives me all this stuff. Like she's giving me a crate, and like she gives you like a whole care package. Did they give you anything with the kitten, or did you just get the kitten?
It's a fucking headache. Just a crazy cat. No, I got the cat. No, actually though, no, they did. So it was only, but see, I only had to spend $129. So you do that, and that's like the adoption fee, and with it comes, they give it like it's 2 first shots. They chip it, they spay it. Which,
The cheapest pussy I've ever paid for.
You know what bugs me the most about this is because I use the browser version of Zoom when we do this. It doesn't give me all 4 people. It just gives me the one that talks the most.
Oh,
Since I'm talking right now, I just stare at Phil usually most of the episode.
but so they did give you stuff when you got the kitten. So you might say you got the whole kitten caboodle.
Oh my god.
No one would say that.
Oh god.
Phil loved it.
Wait a minute. Let me
Yeah,
ask
so-
you this. Hey, hold up. So Jay, when you asked that, you were saying
Yes.
like, yeah, when I get my
100%.
dog,
Where you're about to ask?
all
Yes.
of it, you son of a bitch.
Yes. It was all for kitten caboodle.
And you really wanted to sell it, like, because you knew I could see through it if you just came at me straight
Yeah.
on. So you're like, like I got a crate and shit, and I'm thinking, fuck, you got a crate? Well, he spent $1,000 just on the deposit, so it makes sense. All right, good. That's why I threw the 129 part in there. It was just so you could understand that. Fuck you.
Speaking of, I didn't put this on our list, but speaking of
I was looking at that.
when you were talking about cremating, I don't know if you guys saw the daily video I did the other day. Some dude, his mom had Alzheimer's, so he donated her body to science, so they could study it. And then they sold that body to the government for $6,000, literally strapped her to a chair and blew her up.
I mean, dude, that's what she signed up for it.
Damn.
Actually, funny you say that, because the son said when I was filling out the paperwork, there was even a part that you can check you don't want, like they may do experiments with explosives, and I checked that I do not want her body used for that.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then he got a box of her ashes, her remains, and I'm like, were they chunks, or how the fuck do you get that?
Wow.
Oh my, dude. So when
Did that cost an arm and a leg?
I gotta stop laughing at that shit. Oh my
God
god.
damn, dude.
The deal was he was head over in heels for the deal.
Oh, God.
Oh, fucking.
I'm sorry.
Dude.
Go ahead, Manny.
So when my dad got cremated, my
Jesus.
stepmom went to this group of like widows, and this lady was talking about how she would do certain things with her loved one. So this isn't my stepmom. This is another lady. She was like, she would eat the ashes, and then she would like kind of bathe in the ashes, and it's just, what the fuck is wrong with you?
White lady?
Wow.
I don't even know. I'm guessing. So, dude, it's insane. Like, why would you eat ashes of
I
your
could understand burying them in the garden and then whatever, like, comes out of the ground, you could eat that. But eating the fucking ashes themselves, that's like a cigarette tray.
Yeah, man, that's really disturbing. So,
Yeah, dude, and the fucking Outlaws, they smoked Tupac's. Remember that whole thing
Oh,
back
yeah.
in the day? Smoked
Right.
his ashes.
I know you can
Yeah.
do like a tattoo with the ash.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
By the way,
Ashes to ashes and kush to kush.
Like, dude, it's okay at this point. If people are still listening past like the 2 or 3 that were up front, they're in it. They're in
Uh-huh.
the long haul.
by the
Right.
way, for those that are only listening, not watching, Sean has graced us with his white hat.
Oh yeah, I did.
YT, white.
nice.
Mm.
Dude, the first time he wore it, he's like, check this out. What is it? It's the Tacoma Yankees.
Yeah.
And
Young
I was-
Thug?
What do you say, dude? It cut
Young
out. Probably
Thug.
it's back. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But I go, oh, it says white.
YouTube.
And Sean's like, holy shit, it does.
Yeah, because we were having a whole racial talk that
Yeah.
day, like just diving into it, and then I'm wearing a white hat.
I thought it was Tesla. It was like, what the fuck?
Hey, see, yeah, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess for, what do they say, for prosperity?
Yeah.
We're doing this, and Biden has won the election,
Yep.
Yes.
and
Hallelujah.
and Trump still hasn't conceded, right?
Yeah. So right now, it looks like Biden is going to probably come away with 306 electoral votes, which, it's crazy because as those votes were coming in, they kind of told us this ahead of time. They said it was going to be a red mirage followed by this like blue kind of wave of like overtaken mail-in ballots, because Democrats decided to vote mail-in, as where Republicans were told by Trump, hey, show up on election day and vote, right?
Right.
So long story short, a lot of these places are actually run by Republican, like
Georgia, the governor's Republican, and the secretary, I think, is.
yeah. And it was actually a decision in Pennsylvania to count those. You couldn't count the mail-in ballots until the day of the election and after, right?
Right.
And so anyways, long story short, we all know people show up to Pennsylvania and they're like saying, stop the vote. But then Biden's leading in Arizona and they're like, keep
Count
counting.
the vote.
You know what I mean? So it's like you got two mixed up messages. Right now, Georgia's going to a recount because it was so close, but it looks like Biden's winning by 14,000. And then you've got Pennsylvania. I believe he's winning by something like 40 to 50,000. And then it looks like right now in Arizona, it's down to 11,000, but they don't think that Trump can get enough ballots in order to win that. So looks like it'll be decisive, but at the same time, man, it's like, Trump told everybody before the election, he's like, the only way I can lose is if it's fraud. So his voters like believe that, and it's like they believe him at everything he says. So right now, democracy is kind of on the table, and the shit is crazy, man. Like, how would you feel if, you think that somebody stole an election as opposed to having a fair election where your guy just lost? So you'll never trust the system again.
Well, I mean,
Say for
everybody.
everybody. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say when Hillary lost, everybody was like, oh, fucking, it's stolen or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, because I don't, Sean or Manny, you guys can jump in here. Phil probably not as smart. But the Biden can't get his funds for the to start ramping up and get his people in place because I forget the name of it, hasn't released it yet.
Yeah, something like $9 million was supposed to go, and it's just tradition that if you lose, or those funds go to the transition. But
Wait, what?
The funds apparently go to the next, the success
President-elect
in order to move their people and get all this stuff. But also, it's intelligence briefings that are important, because here's something that a lot of people probably don't know is in 2000, because of the Bush v. Gore thing, 37 days passed, there's no transition stuff in place, and then September 11th, 2001 happens, and we probably would have been more on top of it if there was a smoother transition. So
they did say today though that and it's actually a Republican. He's the head of Homeland Security, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it was. But he said while he's not, so none of the Republicans are calling him President-elect Biden. None of them referenced it that way. But he said he is going to start if by Friday Trump doesn't release or give him daily briefings, that he'll just start doing it. But
Right.
I mean, that just came out, and that's the best it is right now. That's just one small part of a transition, though.
Yeah.
I think everybody that loves the Second Amendment, that wishes Call of Duty Civil War 2020 was a real thing, they might get their chance. I'm just saying, man. Civil War might happen, bro. You never know.
There's
a lot of people. There's a lot of people that are very upset. It's very divided. It's a very divided country right now, man. It's going to be very interesting if he refuses to leave the White House.
Yeah, but I think they'll drag him out eventually. But the thing is, here's what I worry about, and I don't know if it'll really be a thing, but it's like it still has to go to the Electoral College. You send enough defectors over, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, we have 270 for Trump, and however many for Biden. So I don't think that'll happen, because I think people would literally burn the streets down. But
there's still a lot of Senate and House seats that are being decided too, right? I think there's a couple that are going to go to a recount too. So I think there's still some indecision on what the majority is going to be in either of those.
Georgia is actually going to be. They'll decide that in January, and then if the Republicans win one, they take control of the Senate. If Democrats win both of those, then it's they control the Senate. But
the bigger on top of it,
and I've been following this shit, but it's just wild to think, man. It's unprecedented territory. It's like, what do you do with you kind of gave the keys to kind of a madman, and he's like, I can't lose, and I'm not going to leave easily. So,
dude, just speaking on that, when I was driving back from LA today, on YouTube, I started playing. I don't know how I got on it, but I played George Bush Jr. his speech when he announced Obama was going to be president. Right. Unbelievable. So great. It was like, he was like, this is a new day. And I know his grandparents, who would have thought 40 years, that he would do this. And he's like, I've invited Michelle and President-elect Obama and their daughters to come in. I can't wait. And dude, you're like, if you only had seen that, you'd have been like, oh, Bush must have been like the greatest president ever. And then I watched some of the old debates. And dude, it's fucking, I mean, it's so crazy where we're at now versus back in the day. And I saw Mitt Romney and Obama debating, and Mitt was talking about like, oh, we've got the lowest spending on our military, and since it started. And Obama's like, yeah, we don't have horses, or we're not using bayonets. And dude, it was fucking, and it had like all these sound bites. The one about to Dan Quayle, I was friends with Jack Kennedy. You're no Jack Kennedy. I was like, God,
destruction. Yeah.
Oh man. But I think that's the thing that scares me, is that we've gotten so far away from that, where it's like, it's just polar, man. It's like people just can't even meet in the middle. It feels like the loudest voices in the room are the most dominant. So it's either you're super far right or super far left, and then there's just us who are in the middle, and just want people to just be able to function as a society.
Yep.
I'm crazy, man.
Did you guys see Dave Chappelle on SNL kind of talking about this kind of stuff, politics and wearing masks and all that kind of stuff? What did you guys think? Do you think he was struggling? Did you think the audience was just too tight and liberal, or they're just not ready for it, and he's on another plane. What do you guys think?
I thought, excuse me, I think over the last probably 2 or 3 years, he's got much more message heavy in his stand up. But I also know, like, at one point in there, a joke didn't hit, and he said something like he's working.
He said it was
this
new.
out. Yeah. But yeah, it was interesting. I don't know if it was necessarily his best, but also, and then he also said he was nervous. Dude, his interview with Letterman.
Oh,
did you
so
see?
yeah.
Dude, that was great. That was fucking really good.
I've yet to see it. I want to.
Did you see it, Manny? Sean?
Oh man. So first, I guess the SNL thing. It did feel like, for him, he is so used to just being Chappelle, where you can't, nobody censors Chappelle, right? So now all of a sudden you're on TV and you kind of have to watch what you're saying, but at the same time you've got a crowd there, but they're all kind of spaced out, and we all know how that is to be at an open mic where it's like, oh, I have 10 people over here, I have 5 people over here, and to get them collectively laughing is a bit more challenging to people who don't do comedy. But also, he's touching on real topics, which, you know what I mean? When you're talking about women not, getting equal pay, there's going to be some women in the crowd that aren't going to be with that, and it's like, when he kept saying, come get these nigga lessons, you know what I mean? White people are like, can we laugh at this? I don't know, so it's like, they're great. I think it did feel kind of open mic-ish, you know what I mean? How you're just throwing stuff out there. But at the same time, it's better than anything I could do on Saturday Night Live. So, I mean, him and Bill Burr, I think they're not your typical TV comics. If you put them on HBO in that same, kind of environment, but you don't censor them, they're going to crush every time. But, this is NBC where it's like, hey, could you not say this, this, and this? So, but the Letterman thing, back to that was amazing. Hands down.
What'd you think, Sean?
Yeah, the Letterman thing was great. The SNL thing, I completely agree with Manny. And, the other thing is, like Manny was saying, all those people, have now essentially been made cast members that are in the audience so they can legally do what they do. And they're all spaced out. So I think the whole environment is different. And, dude, the thing is, too, with Chappelle, like, you got to think that stuff was all so topical. There's no way he could have won any of that.
Right.
So he's coming out doing like he does when he does like his 3.5 hour shows at wherever, or, where he just comes in without anybody knowing. But dude, he's like, that was funny. It felt like jazz to me. And there was a couple parts like you're talking about where he was saying something about women where they didn't get laughs. But, it seems like the only places that don't get laughs are when it's obviously when it affects that person in a way, where 95% of the other stuff they were laughing at. So, you take all that with like, dude, quiet with your booze because you've been laughing all night about,
Yep.
all the other shit.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think Chappelle's great.
I think that's a great point you made too, Manny, about doing TV for both Chappelle and Burr versus like HBO. Like I remember when Burr, right after fucking Steve Jobs died, and Burr was on I think it was Conan shitting on Steve Jobs, and the audience was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And then, but then you see him do it like in other stuff, outside of that environment, and it's fucking crushing,
Yeah, I mean, you think about it. If Patrice O'Neal was still alive today, hands down, he would be at the same. I think he'd be at the same level as Chappelle. If not, maybe even a step higher. I don't know. That's where I hold Patrice. But imagine Patrice doing that. He's not going to hold anything back, and he's going to say stuff that's going to rattle some people to their core. But
yeah.
I love Dave Chappelle. I think he's definitely up there in my top favorite comics. I just wonder if he's starting to get the same like effect that like the Jay-Z effect, like where he's just made so much money that he's starting to become disconnected, I think, from like his audience. Like he was talking about being in the grocery store and how somebody like, oh, look, it's the guy from TV at the grocery store. And he's like, no, like I'm me, basically. He's like,
yeah.
like,
yeah,
you know
I
what
know
I mean?
you said it
And
backwards.
I'm just like,
yeah.
yeah, right.
The grocery store guy's on the TV, and he's like, no, the guy on the TV is at the grocery store.
That's right. And I'm just like, he's worked super, super hard to get where he's at, and he does get to relish in that. But it's just like, I just wonder if he can really put himself in the everyman's shoes and see things from their point of view, just because of his wealth. But he also said he has those outdoor shows, and I have to imagine he was able to, depending on what the most recent show he held, he was probably able to work on some of that stuff there. But I don't know. It felt like he definitely was kind of maybe doing some stuff that was super, super fresh, and maybe nervous because he didn't know how it was going to hit. But I mean, he's still fucking Dave Chappelle, and he's one of the best. So fuck off, Sean.
Do you think Jesus? Do you think though that like, dude, I agree with partly what you're saying, dude, but like when I think of somebody I think of Kevin Hart as somebody, he's really tough to watch now.
Yeah.
For me. He is so unreal. He has reached a level, maybe not even like in the stratosphere. He has reached a level in the stratosphere, but I think he's reached a level in his own mind that the way he talks is so condescending and off-putting, and he talks about like, and I'm just like 100%, and I'm up at 5 working out. But the way he says it is like this. And with Chappelle, it feels like he's evolved into a place where, like, he's a stand-up, obviously, and one of the greatest living stand-ups. But it's like he's kind of taking that transition. He's transcending stand-up into, like Jay, you were saying up front, I think, is like into messages, and like, especially in 2020 with all the shit that's happened, whether it's health-related or racial injustices or the presidential shit. He speaks at a real high level. There was something really profound he said on SNL. I can't remember. I got to watch it again. But when he said, it was something about, hey, white people walk up to a black dude and give him something
for nothing.
If he doesn't deserve it.
Yeah.
And then he had a switch up on it. And you're like, oh, and I heard that and I was like, shit, I want to rewind this, but I can't. But dude, I got to go back and listen to that again. But it was some crazy.
Yeah, and then he said because you're giving him something that he doesn't deserve, he doesn't deserve, because for so long things have been happening to him that they didn't deserve.
Right.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was fucking. It was. Yeah, I definitely. He's getting into that. Like you said, that transcending into that. I think there was talk of him being like a modern day Pryor, Carlin, but I think he's now kind of there. Like, where if he were to pass tomorrow, he would be in that same level.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure.
If he doesn't stop smoking, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, that fool smokes like a chimney.
And I also think nutty. What you were talking about, Kevin Hart, I know what you mean, and I think you said you haven't seen it, Phil, the David Letterman interview. I think the fact that he stays in Ohio keeps him at that everyman level. Like he talked about on SNL how like somebody was complaining, which was weird because in the Letterman interview he's like, these are all my people. People don't know me as Dave Chappelle. They just know me as like, oh, that's the guy that lives down the street, and they know my kids and all that stuff. So I think he stays very grounded and can still relate to the everyman, and he did those shows he talked about on Letterman. He did a lot of those shows to give work to people in his hometown,
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Well, then fuck me.
Alex Trebek has passed away.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What is
Crazy.
host of Jeopardy?
Sad, man. What? Oh.
The Jeopardy.
Yeah, that was Jesus, dude. That's fucking
That was quick.
I know.
Studio 2 weeks ago.
And then fucking Sean Connery just died. And so my sister just sent me a meme today that says Sean Connery saying, "Oh, we meet again, Trebek."
Oh, that's
in heaven.
that's
in heaven
great.
right now.
That's
Yeah.
great.
That's cool.
So who do you think is going to be the? I know Trebek. I think I saw an interview where he says he wants a woman to be the host of Jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then he said Betty White, so obviously he was joking.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
there was an article on Outsider that gave a few of its picks. It says George Stephanopoulos, who is a, you've seen him on like ABC News, broadcaster guy. He's very composed and knowledgeable. Ken Jennings, the guy from Washington State, who is the most winningest guy ever. He could be possible for one of the positions. Alex Faust, I guess, is some dude from the LA Kings, hockey announcer. I have no idea who he is. Laura Coates, a CNN contributor. But yeah, he said Betty White as a joke, I think. But who do you guys think? Who, if you had a pick for who you think would be the best Jeopardy host to replace Alex?
Probably.
Who you got?
I got Justin Ruppel. He seems like the perfect guest.
Justin would love it. He would love it.
Right.
And he could do all the impressions of all the people.
It's crazy. I was watching the other day because it shocked me, and I saw this article of his career basically, and like all the old school game shows he used to host before he got to Jeopardy.
Yeah.
He looked so much different back in the day, man. He always had that mustache though, that iconic mustache forever. But he had a fro, man.
So that's how me and Jay, I know for a fact, I don't know if Manny would, but that's how me and Jay actually, I think, pictured Alex Trebek, is what you saw.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah, a black and white TV.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll never forget, like, from the 80s to the 90s, that's Trebek in my mind, with a little bit of like darkish gray hair with the mustache, and delivering like, "Ooh, no, we were looking for,"
Yeah.
The most soft, condescending fuck you.
Hosted a show called Double Dare, hosted a show called Concentration, hosted To Tell the Truth for a little bit.
Wasn't that Mark Summers?
Yeah.
So that's what got me started on watching all this stuff, because I was like, wait, Double Dare? Are you kidding me, Nickelodeon? But no, it was an old school show with two people that were in like isolated booths, and when one person would buzz in before the other, the circle would close on him and be like, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, and it would close, and then it would open again.
What would it do?
It'd be like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. It was cool. I watched most of the episodes.
I got it. My pick just
All right,
came to me. If he's still alive, and you guys might not know it, Sean, you will. Chuck Woolery.
Yeah,
dude, it's funny you say that, because that's where my head is.
2 and 2.
He is still alive. 2 and 2 with this big fat Rolex.
Yes.
Huge.
Phil,
Rolex.
do you know who this is? Chuck Woolery?
Yeah.
He like hosted one of the shows, I think, that Trebek either took over or he hosted
Wheel of
before.
Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune. Oh yeah, okay, there you go. Sorry, my bad.
And Love Connection.
Or Pat Sajak.
Love Connection.
Nice.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, dude, he'd always, and that Rolex was like 4 sizes too big. He's always fucking adjusting it. Yeah.
So ill.
We'll see you in 2 and 2.
Dude, I think I would choose and I don't know how old he is or what he looks like, but I would choose Sir Ian McKellen.
Yeah, of course. I knew some bullshit was coming out of your mouth.
What do you mean bullshit? He's really composed.
Get him, Phil.
And funny.
Defend your shit, Phil.
There's nothing to defend.
You know what, Sean? You shall not pass.
I haven't seen any of his movies, so
You're an idiot.
I'll assume that was some reference to some movies. I'm the idiot.
Sober Phil's a little fucking mouthy.
Called Lord of the Rings. I don't know. Have you ever heard of it? J.R.R. Tolkien. Hello. Get a life. Here's 50 cents. Call somebody who cares. You dummy. Who's your pick, Sean?
So dude, I was thinking about this, and you know what? I think here's what I don't like. So nowadays they have these game shows that come on, and it was like Deal or No Deal with Howie Mandel, and there was there's all these new ones. There was like with I can't think of them now, but Drew Carey does Price is Right. We went like in the 70s and 80s. I don't remember the 70s, but let's do the 80s. We had actual game show hosts. There was Alex Trebek and
that
Wink
was their
Martindale.
thing.
Yeah, that was their thing. And so now what we have is these game shows where they bring like Jamie Foxx in to do some kind of a Skype show or whatever the hell it is. And so it changed it all. It becomes like a network show that they're like they're trying to make money on. They make it all shiny with neon, and they plug in an actor. We don't have any game show hosts anymore.
Pat Sajak.
Like, yeah, but he's busy. So it's like, what do you?
Oh, yeah.
So I would hate, like, the closest I see doing this would be Ken Jennings, I guess. But dude, he's not a personality like that. And I read something about Alex. He was saying what it takes is you basically have to come across confident, trustworthy, and that you know all the answers.
Right.
There's a whole thing. You have to be able to say the inflections right and the accents right, and there's a whole thing to it. It's like a symphony.
What about Chris Hardwick? He hosts a lot of shit.
Yeah, see, Chris Hardwick, I guess he's the closest thing we have to a game show host.
Yeah.
I see him more as that than a comedian.
They were also saying LeVar Burton from Reading Rainbow is a possible. You know,
that might be fucking.
I didn't think of that. He could be good. He's got that way.
Yeah.
Take a look at the board. Here's the questions.
It was horrible.
You know what? You know how that could have just come across, though? So, like, we were just naming off all these people, just shitting on all of them. And then the one black dude in the room names a one black host, and we're all like, that's a good choice.
Good job, Manny.
Clowns, dude.
No, but that
makes
sense,
a good
though.
choice.
You
Yeah.
know what's weird, though? There's a part of me, and this is maybe how society programs you, that ideally I think of the Jeopardy host as being white. And I don't know if it's like, you know, kind of a systemic racist kind of thing that's in my head where it's like only that host can be white, but maybe it's because it's been white for so long. I don't know.
What host could be black? But dude, think of
Steve
another
Harvey.
show. You think any other? But even then, if somebody said to you, I wonder if that's a question. Even then, when they said, "Hey, so we're bringing back Family Feud, and it's been Ray Combs and Richard Dawson and everybody,
right?
And we're gonna bring in Steve Harvey,
mm-hmm.
because we don't know any. I think every host has been white ever.
Right. Yeah. And Steve Harvey.
What game show would seem like it would be? Yeah. I hear what you're saying, dude. I'm trying to like piece that.
You guys know who Soledad O'Brien is?
I don't.
Boy.
She's been on CNN. She's a black woman, and I think she's so dope. She's a black woman, and I think she's so dope. I think she would.
You're thinking
really
thing like extended, so it sounded like you go, she's a black woman.
Oh, she'd be. But yeah,
I think she'd be a great.
LeVar Burton. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. I think that'd be good.
Yeah.
So.
What's up, Soledad?
Or you'd have to bring somebody in English.
That's
They'd have to have an English
like Sir Ian McKellen.
Nah. That is, actually, that was funny though, dude. You're right.
You know, like I think what's his name? Patrick Stewart. Like he's always great in everything.
Yeah.
What if we were oh, Manny, that's a great idea. Man, Phil should have gone with that. That's fucking genius. He's been in X-Men. I've seen those movies. All right. We're getting close to the end here.
Veterans Day? It's Veterans Day.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sean?
Happy Veterans Day, everybody.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank a vet. Yeah.
Thanks, Sean.
Why you say that, Sean? Take these thank yous.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, actually, this is a question I don't know the answer, and this is probably dumb, Sean. So a veteran just anybody that's been in the military?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like you know what I thought growing up was I wasn't sure. I was like I thought it was somebody that had seen battle.
No, that would be like no, a veteran is anybody who served.
Okay.
And is out. And then somebody who has seen something would be like there is a word for it.
Vietnam
veteran. A veteran of war.
Yeah, it could be that. Yeah.
So we owe you a thanks, Sean.
I think what's what goes through my head super quick is my dad and my grandpa, who like dad went to 3 tours of Vietnam. Grandpa was in World War II, and I was in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. So
God, you had a rough.
Yeah, so it's I didn't have to see anything. I was in that weird period. I got out March 30th, 2001.
What branch was it? Air Force?
Army.
Army. Okay.
engineers. Yeah.
Well, you're in
Dude.
Missouri. You probably saw some shit. I
I was in the Ozarks.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
whoa.
Dude, it was just months before September 11, 2001. And so we all got letters and communications saying, even though, because I put in 8 years, even though I was out, they were going to bring people back. So that was like a weird moment.
Having been in the military, when that happened, was there any part of you that felt like you wanted to go and fight for the country?
Oh, so I don't think it's that. I think people before they go into the military have that feeling, but they don't know it's a misplaced feeling. I think when you're in the military, you're just ready to do your job.
When 9/11 happened though, did you get that feeling of like I want back in?
Fuck no. No.
Yeah.
No.
What's wrong,
I mean,
Phil?
I thought that was the question I just fucking asked.
no.
Much better when
No.
you say it.
No, dude, you asked are you like
Huh?
I want to go fight. No, it's not that. You're just ready to do your job. It's a different thing. What Jay's asking, which is completely different and a very good question that I'd like to answer,
Thank you.
is what was your question?
When 9/11 happened, did you get a desire to want to go back in?
Yeah, no. But see, you have to understand, man, I went in at 18 years old, and now we're talking 8 years later. So now I'm whatever that is, 26.
Yeah.
So I'm in a different place.
Yeah.
You guys, besides Sean, do you, Manny or Jay, have any family that was in the military?
Yeah. My grandpa was in, and then all of my dad's brothers. But my dad would have been around that like Vietnam kind of era, and he just missed it. So he didn't really want to get into the service. So he didn't do it. But yeah, man, my uncle Bub, he actually, they thought he was dead, but he actually like left and went living with some like chicks in like Vietnam, and then they had to bring him back, and then they put him back in, and then like it was crazy, man. So
long time.
Yeah,
That's AWOL.
Yeah.
Tubuku.
My grandma had to write like a letter to like a senator or something to like excuse him, and you know what I mean. And so he, eventually they were like, it's fine, but shit was crazy. So.
My dad, my uncle, my grandfather, all military. My grandfather was in World War II. My dad and uncle didn't see any action, I don't think. My dad he was an athlete, so I remember he was stationed in fucking Hawaii, Sean. And I remember you'll know this, Sean, I don't know this. I think he was in the Army, but the direct person he reported to fucking hated him and would like always fuck with him. So my dad, being the athlete, he went above that dude's head and like whoever the guy above him, and was like, hey man, I want to do good in the games, but this guy, he's just fucking. So that guy fucking hooked my dad up and said fuck to the other dude.
Nice. Yeah, if you know someone, shoot. Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
My great grandpa.
No, we're done with that. I'm just fucking with you, Phil. Go ahead.
He was in World War II. And
for the Germans.
God damn it. I mean he was on an aircraft carrier. He was in the Navy, and but he had he had one of his ships destroyed, and he had to do the back float until he was fucking rescued. And he
which
also
was 3 minutes later, because there was a rescue boat right there at the bottom.
I don't know, and I'm still saying that's pretty fucking scary to have to actually abandon ship. But and then he was burned from the neck down in sulfuric acid and had to get skin grafts all over his body. Yeah, he was doing like cleanup.
Why did you lead with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, but he was a cool dude.
Do you guys remember like rock paper scissors being like Rochambeau?
Yeah.
So my grandpa was on the USS Rochambeau, and we were always like, "Oh, you're full of shit. There's no USS Rochambeau," and then he really was. So crazy. So
was he really good at rock paper scissors?
I don't even remember. Shit.
Oh.
He's dead, Phil. I would ask him, but
That's pretty.
Did they burn him?
Jesus Christ!
I'm sorry.
Being on that ship must have rocked.
I love you.
Love you back.
All right, let's wrap this up. Plugs. We'll start with Phil. Anything you want to plug, Phil?
You can catch me at several AA meetings around the area, NA meetings. Nope, that's it. At Like the Animal on everything.
Manny
And Little Granny's Boy.
Let's see. Catch me next week on Love in Black and White, episode 11. Along with that, in December, I will have another improv thing coming out. So
we're watching it. We're gonna watch him do improv online in a Zoom.
Why do I not? Oh yeah, okay. We'll talk about this offline. I knew nothing about this.
Oh yeah, he talks about it on the Love in Black and White, and
great.
We're gonna make a thing of it where we're gonna all watch it.
Oh cool, yeah, I'm in.
Are we hate watching it or are we love watching it? Because you're making it sound like
we're gonna love to hate it.
Oh, okay.
We do. Manny and I will do improv a lot on Love in Black and White.
We really do. Yeah,
we're like we'll be at the dinner. I'll be like, okay, I'm the girl. Here's what I'm gonna give you a scenario how would you react. So I'll be like, so man, you know.
Yeah, and then what?
You have to listen to the podcast, bro.
Yeah, and then what?
No, he just told you, and then what though? You said, and then what? He said you have to listen to the podcast.
Yeah,
There's your answer.
Podcast.
Yes, and
There's
then
your
what?
answer. Nothing.
Yes,
That's the end.
and then rate, review it.
Yep.
That's called improv. Yes, and God, come on, Jay.
No, not yeah, and then what? That's come on, dude. That's accusatory. I don't like your tone.
Sorry, Alex.
Semen.
No.
Don, what do you want to plug?
Cat.
No, I'll be. So we're just tying up some loose ends for. I got a weekend coming up. We're just trying to figure it out. The Tiny Trombone in Syracuse, New York. So I'll let you know. But follow me at the Mechanable.
Yeah.
Where I never put anything up on Instagram ever. As a matter of fact, I got to figure out. I got to talk to you guys. I have messages in there. I know people have sent me, and I think there's some really old ones. And I know there's actually a fan of your show, man, that has written me something, and I don't know how to go get them.
All right, I'll walk you through it.
Cool.
You know what? Everybody should right now bombard the Mechanable at the Mechanable. Tag him in shit. Comment on his post that he did fucking 4 months ago. Send him DMs. Just fucking, he'll be hitting me up.
I don't know.
Dude, it's 3 a.m. I'm getting fucking bombarded. I am at Big Irish J. Manny's at Manny Martin Jr. Phil is at Like the Animal. I'm at Big Irish J. I will be at. If you listen to this on Friday, I'm already at Bricktown Comedy Club in Oklahoma City. You can go to bigirishj.com and all my dates will be there. And that's it. Until next week, guys.
Oh, hey, Jay.
Oh, yeah.
1 second.
Oh.
If anybody wants to, talk to us or, drop us a line or give us feedback, questions for us, why don't you send those? Send those to hwppod@gmail.com. That's hwppod@gmail.com.
Did we have any last week?
Nope.
You gotta get on that. You're not doing it very good, Phil. You gotta get on that.
Thanks, Jay.
Okay. Until next week, Phil.
Oh, fuck.
Bye.
And now here's the favorite, the rate and review with me and Sean.
Review.
Oh yeah, I just end it here.
I thought it was you and Kane.
No, dude, that's me. What the fuck?
No, it's Jay and Kane.
No, dude, that's me. What a dick.
Who's laughing at the end? You're like, nobody's reviewed this fucking
we were
thing.
high.
That was Sean?
Yeah, that's just me and Jay super stoned at my house.
If a person fucking listens to this till the end, you deserve a prize. Your prize is to go to iTunes and rate or review this podcast. Give it 5 stars, you motherfuckers. Fucking say something nice. Oh, you fucks. I'm dying right now. You motherfuckers. I've been doing this fucking piece of shit for 5 years. I'm averaging about 2 fucking reviews a year. Go fucking write some, you motherfuckers. Oh, fuck.
That is the realest I've ever heard you.
God.
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?